Today, I find myself revisiting a game I once conquered called Pizzatower with the goal of 101%ing it, but this time I'll be doing so in under 4 hours, which unlocks the world's most glorious, beautiful, magnificent backdrop animation known to mankind. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful! However, with my last playthrough taking well over 57 hours, which mind you is a very respectable time, please don't look at the comment section, it will certainly take more than just pressing a few buttons and hoping for the best, as I'm gonna have to beat a total of 20 levels, get the highest rank for each of them called the P rank, defeat 5 ridiculously difficult bosses without taking a single damage, some definitely more than the other, and gather all 72 achievements that include some I personally wanted to learn to code so I could physically remove every single one of them. Curse you, lava achievement. And I'm also going to be playing the new character everyone has been raving about called the Noise, an annoying boss that took me ages to beat on my first playthrough, now aiding in my journey to become the greatest Pizza Tower completionist of all time. Can I fully master the game in time to beat it in under 4 hours, or will my rusty old bones as a gamer cause me to fail this impossibly hard challenge? You're gonna have to stick around to find out. With that said, here is how I 101%ed Pizza Tower as the Noise in 4 hours. Now, as I've already mentioned in the intro, there are a total of 20 levels within the game, 25 if you're including the bosses. So since I need to beat the game in 4 hours, I'm gonna have to roughly take no more than 5 to 10 minutes for each of the levels, which realistically speaking is not a lot of time. Plus, there's definitely gonna be a few hiccups that'll ensue along the way, since I'm but a human being who, despite being gifted with Asian gaming skills, I still tend to make a few mistakes here and there, with the majority of them being at the most crucial of times for reasons I can't explain. So yeah, I don't have high hopes for this to be a one-take miracle run, but if it is, then I'm the greatest gamer who's ever lived. Anyways, now that we have a rock solid plan that has a 90% chance of failing us, let's see what this Noise guy can do. I kinda already know, but let's just pretend it's my first time for vanity's sake, shall we? Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, from the looks of it, we'll be doing all sorts of new fun things. Starting with the X button, allowing us to bounce off the wall that you can keep on spamming forever up. Never mind, you can't. Do a little spinny spin move like the Tasmanian Devil, which helps to break these blocks easily. Press up and Z to rock and boost yourself up, which will come in super handy later. Like seriously, it's a game changer. And lastly, holding shift will help us keep our momentum to break them metal blocks. There are a few more moves we can do that aren't taught through the tutorial, some that are absolutely illegal, but I'll explain those later in the video. And now that we've gotten a taste of what this guy can do, it's time to get to the good part, which is to beat the game in 4 hours. With the first level being, of course, the good old John Gutter level. Oh my goodness, what in Jiminy Cricket is that? Now for this first level and the rest we'll be tackling ahead, there are 2 main objectives we have to complete to 101% the game. First is getting all the achievements, which is usually capped at 3 for each level, and second is getting the highest rank called the P rank. Now since we have to beat each level within 5 to 10 minutes, ideally we want to complete both objectives in a single attempt, but unfortunately for this first level that is quite literally impossible. Not because I'm not good enough for my incompetence as a gamer, since I was recently blood tested and well, you know, I'm Faker's long lost brother, don't fact check that, but it's actually physically impossible. And that's because the first achievement called Let's Make This Quick requires you to literally beat the level in under 2 minutes. Even for a world-class gamer such as myself, completing the first lap of the level takes around a minute and a half to do so. So imagine completing a second lap, let alone P ranking, which as most of you know, in order to P rank a level, we have to kill an enemy before leaving the room, obtain a high enough score to get an S rank, find all 3 of the secret rooms along with kidnapping Jerome to open the door to the secret treasure, completing another lap of the level and not dropping a single combo even once, and on top of that, we also need to get the other 2 achievements, which are John Gutted and Primate Rage. The John Gutted achievement requires us to destroy all the dead jump blocks within the level, which we only need to do for the first lap, making it not that big a deal to obtain. But for the Primate Rage achievement, we need to get a combo of 99 or above. And the tricky thing about this one is that you only get up to 74 combos when you complete just the first lap. So since we gotta complete a second lap of the level to get all 99 combos, that's all the more reason why we can't get all the achievements plus the P rank in one fell swoop. At least for the first level, that is. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? Anyways, because of this, I decided to split the operation by going for the Let's Make This Quick and the John Goddard achievements first, and then on my second try, go for the Primate Rage achievement and the P rank respectively, which places us at 6 minutes and 40-ish seconds. A perfect start to what may very well be a successful run. At least that's what I hope happens. Honestly, I'm numb to the idea at this point, since this is like my, I don't know, 37th attempt at beating this challenge. Speaking of being numb, I hope you're not too numb that you can't hit the subscribe button and like this video as I pour out my heart, soul, blood, and tears into making quality content for you guys. And who knows, if you help me get to 100k, maybe I'll start posting more often and not take another 10 whole months. I'll explain in more detail at the end of the video, so hurry up and subscribe. Anyways, let's get back to the game. Now, although the first level may have gone a lot smoother than expected, to be fair, the real challenge begins in the second level called Pizzascape, where we're gonna have to get the following 3 achievements. Spoon Knight, where we need to parry 10 Fork Knights. Spherical, which is to kill an enemy while in the ball form. And lastly, the one that's really gonna slap us in the butt cheeks is Shining Armor, where we're gonna have to get to all the priests without smacking ourselves against any of the walls even once.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Frankly, getting the first two was rather easy, where my strategy for the first achievement was to parry the first 10 Fortnites as I ran into them, in which I found that the fastest way to get this done was to use the grab and release method to then follow it up with a parry. And for the second achievement, I just had to grab any mob in the vicinity and get this red Teletubby-like blob to kick me into a ball, to then hit the lucky goober who, let's just say, kindly volunteered to become a sacrifice.
Bro, please, bro. Why you do...
But as you may have guessed, the last achievement won't come as easy, since there are a ton of what I like to call choke points. Like this part where you need to jump to then immediately ground pound to change direction so you don't hit a wall, or this narrow gap where overshooting the jump will lead to hitting, a wall, or this room that is littered with areas where this time undershooting your jump will get you to hit, say it with me now, block. Which can be used to build a wall. My point is the margin for error was massive for this single achievement, and one little slip up meant that I had to restart the level again or entirely reset the run. And what do you know, this went on to happen quite a bit the first few times until eventually I was able to do it with my eyes closed, meaning they weren't because, I'm Asian. Now, unlike the first level, this one didn't have any impossible limitations in regards to getting the 3 achievements and the P rank all at the same time. So for the second level, I did exactly that. Alright, we got the P rank. Just gotta focus up and not mess up a single time. Then again, if I mess up, it's not that big a deal. I mean, it's not like, I've done this more than 36 times. It's not that big a deal. What am I kidding? Get me out of this level, please. Get out of my way, you little Teletubbies. Alright, after we get through this room, we're gonna be seeing the finish line. There we go. And go! Go, 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 go. Oh yeah, no reset, baby. That, and also you might be wondering why in the world am I paying this woman to get me the sloppiest kiss of my life. Well, first of all, she is my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. At least that's what the internet says, which obviously never lies. Is Santa real? I knew it! And secondly, it opens up the portal to fight against the first boss. Now, since this is sort of like a speed run, we want to minimize unnecessary time loss and maximize the most optimal route to set us up for success. And if you look at this super accurate drawing of the map of the first floor that I definitely didn't draw, in case you guys think it sucks, rather than going up and over to the 3rd level and then to the 4th and then take out the boss to move on to the 2nd floor, I deemed it more efficient to take on the boss first, then to the 3rd level, then to the 4th, and so on. Which, believe it or not, saves us a whopping time of exactly 3 seconds. Honestly, I just wanted to get the boss fight over with first because funny enough, it's actually a pain to deal with this roided paprika. I mean, I'd be lucky if I beat this pre-marinated sauce of a musclehead in 2 to 3 tries. And this was mainly due to the noise's fighting mechanics, where instead of punching and kicking like when we play Peppino, this noise guy instead chucks a bomb at the boss, which you would think is a massive advantage since it's a ranged attack, right? Like we can just throw our little bombs at the boss in the safety of our little safe corner, right? Wrong, because if you look closely, it so happens Peppino's melee attacks are executed immediately when we press the attack button, which means no downtime or delay in between the attack animation and the damage dealt to the boss. But the noise, on the other hand, does this weird pause before he hurls the bomb. And you may be able to argue that this is not that big a deal, but to me, it freaking was. So much that I had to set aside a separate time to practice prior to this run for more than 3 whole hours just to get used to this handicap of a mechanic. Needless to say, the practice definitely paid off, and I knew exactly what I had to do during the real deal. Alright, the beginning is pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. Just gotta jump over the guy. Easy peasy. Okay, this is the most annoying part. Gotta be patient with it. Don't get too greedy. And there we go. Alright, second phase. Alright, now I'm literally... I need to literally be aware of my entire surroundings. Statues, the rocks from the bottom. I mean, the top. I can't... I need to focus. Honestly, this part here isn't that bad. I mean, you just gotta jump. I have no idea how he does that. Alright, 2 more lives. Come on. We're so close. Alright, there we go. 1 more life. This is gonna be our first attempt. So close. Yeah. A bit of time loss on our end, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal. I mean, as long as we get it here. I just gotta get these statues sculpted. Sculpt it down. Ah! Honestly, I had it under control. Come on, 1 last statue. Come on. Almost there, and... Oh, yes. Second time's the charm. Still could have been a freaking first try. The third level we have to tackle next is ancient cheese, which, as the name suggests, has, you know, a lot of cheese that we have to initially get our dirty little hands on, as many of them smelly parmesans as we can, as the first achievement, called delicacy, requires us to make more than 41 sets of cheese platforms crumble, which may seem a lot, but as you can tell, the whole map is littered with these cheddars, so as long as I actively skid across as many of them in the beginning, the achievement was pretty much guaranteed. Then we have the thrill seeker achievement, where we need to finish the level without getting hurt by an explosion, which you might think is an easy one to get, since all we have to do is stay as far away from the bombs as we can, right? Well, the thing is, I forgot to mention that this level was also one that I decided to get all the achievements and the P rank in one single attempt, which means the tactic to keep away from an explosion is a bust, as the last achievement we have to get is volley bomb, where we have to kill a rat with a bomb dropped by the very enemies we want to stay away from. Like, why couldn't it be with these ones that spawn the bombs that we can easily grab and kamikaze into them rats, which doesn't count as a hit? Why does it have to be the bombs from this good-for-nothing pizza cosplaying failed science experiment between a potato and a rat looking out? To be fair, I'm making it a bigger deal than it really is, since all we gotta do is get the volley bomb achievement done and over with first, which we can then be free from the anxiety that comes with touching the bombs of the booger face goblin. Except during my first attempt at the level, I don't know if my brain that's clearly operating on just one brain cell shut down for a second from overworking itself, but when I had to grab the bomb of this pizza goblin, I completely whiffed the grab multiple times to then... Okay, just gotta go grab the bomb, grab the bomb, grab the... Should have licked all the butter from my finger. Thankfully, the second time around, I wasn't as brain dead in making the same mistake, so all that was left to do was beat the level with the P rank. Alright, my plan here is simple. I am not gonna try to make any mistake at all. Right, so far so good. Oh, okay, never mind. I shouldn't have gone down there. But it's okay. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. It's one mistake that we will never make again. You know, usually I say that, and then I actually make another mistake right away. But it seems like this time, luck is on my side. Okay, never mind. Alright, from now on, seriously, I will not make any mistake at all. I was supposed to drop in the middle. Oh my goodness! What am I doing? And here we go. Okay, we got the achievement as well. You know what? I have no idea how, but even with all those mistakes, we got a 5-minute run. Let's go! Honestly, I was gonna need all the help I could get, as it was finally time to face the last level for the first floor that I despise with every fiber of my being. The level that had me having nightmares in my sleep, where I'm constantly getting my buttocks flambéed in the molten brewing lava to then ending up with a million cuts by running through a room full of pizza cutters. And this level was none other than... Before that, we're gonna do a quick custom change, and oh yeah, they have my color! Blossus Dungeon was the name. And the achievements associated with it were very, very hot sauce, which is beating the level without touching this gosh darn crimson pool of misery, Eruption Man, where we need to super jump for more than 2 seconds, and lastly, Unsliced Pizza Man, which is basically similar to the first achievement, but pizza cutters. Or in this case, a freaking shredder. Now, the structure of the level is mostly vertical, so on our way back to the top, it's gonna be a sitch getting the Eruption Man achievement, as rocket boosting in this spot here is all we need to do to get it. But as you can tell, the same couldn't be said for the other 2 achievements, because if you look at this map of the level I found in Google, in case you guys judged me on the last one I drew, not drew, the whole place is jam-packed with the 2 things that we have to explicitly avoid to obtain these 2 ridiculous achievements. What's more, because 2 of the 3 secret rooms within the level were literally made of lava and pizza cutters, and I had to get the P rank as well, I had multiple instances where I either ran out of time or I barely made it to the end, which meant that I didn't have the luxury to take my time to slowly avoid the obstacles like I did back when I first played this game. But I wasn't about to let all that get in the way of potentially nabbing myself a sub 30-minute first floor completion. So how about we play the best bloody blood dungeon level of our freaking life? Oh, my sub 30! And because of that one mistake, I had to play the level one more time to get that accursed lava achievement. Now, although my dream of a sub 30-minute first floor completion was out the gutter and most likely the entire flip and run, like all great speedrunners do, I basically decided to make up for lost time by telling myself that from here on out, I'm gonna play the most perfect Pizza Tower gameplay that no gamer has ever displayed in human history. I am the chosen one! The real reason was that it was a bit silly of me to restart the whole run again just because of a minor setback. So like the mature adult that I was, I quickly brushed it off and nonchalantly moved on to the second floor. with this pathetic time of 33 minutes. Oregano Desert was the first level on the second floor, and this was where we had to really tighten up, as the following achievements were not for the faint of heart. Don't believe me? Well, let me introduce you to Peppino's Rain Dance, where we need to reactivate a totem by running back and forth on it with a Mac Dash. Okay, this is actually not that hard. But not the next achievement called Unnecessary Violence, where we have to get rid of all of the clear sausages in every single pizza bar. This is also not that bad. Why did I hype this up so much? Was what I would have said if it wasn't for the very last achievement, Alien Cow. An achievement that I want to say was the bane of my existence, since bumping into any of these lactose intolerant inducing barnyard blobs was much easier than you'd expect. So much that I had to carefully maneuver my way around them by jumping over them one by one like a track and field hurdler who trained his whole life to get last place. At least that's what I intended to do. Okay, so for this level, as much as I want to, like, you know, get the P rank and the achievement at the same time, I'm not gonna do that because of this stinking Alien Cow achievement. It's just not worth it. So we're just gonna get the Unnecessary Violence achievement and the P rank after we get the Alien Cow achievement. Alright, we're nearing the part where we need to be very careful. Gonna have to slow it down from here and go nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, and that is how you pass the cow. Seems like the cows weren't the only things we needed to worry about. We are definitely not gonna let that happen again. Alright, here we go again. Steady. Steady. Last one. Okay, now we just gotta get rid of this. I can't tolerate that. I just can't. I can't tolerate that. That's just, if that happens again, I'm just gonna restart the level. I'm just gonna restart the level. Wait. I just came up with a genius plan. I'll show you guys when I get to the cows. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Alright, focus. 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 There we go. Okay. Now we're just gonna do this and finally. Okay, let's hope that it's gonna be smooth sailing from here on out. Pain. Just pain. Still not gonna restart the whole thing because I freaking believe in myself! Good news is I did eventually get it done, as you can see with this lovely letter to express how I feel right now. But the bad news is it was at the expense of spending a whole 10 minutes on it, which was way more time than I intended to spend on just getting a single achievement. To put this into perspective, until now on average, it took around 7 minutes for John Gutter, 6 minutes for Pizzascape, 5 minutes for Pepperman, 5 minutes for Ancient Cheese, and 10 minutes for Blussa's Dungeon. Now if you recall what I said in the beginning, each level needs to take no more than 5 to 10 minutes, which is a strict rule that I placed upon myself to make sure I beat the challenge in under 4 hours. All these took less than 10 minutes, so I think you can see where I'm coming from when I say this was without a doubt a major screw up. One that seriously had me contemplating whether I should keep going or just restart the challenge entirely. But the reason why I didn't was that it still wasn't a deal breaker when it came to beating the challenge. And the reason I know this is I had already calculated the average time it took for every single level from all my previous runs I played up to this point on a Google Doc, which for someone like me who wings everything 99% of the time was incredibly tedious. All in all, I was still very much in this thing, so after further convincing myself with the speedrunner's mentality of I'll just shave off some time later, because obviously I am the chosen one, I went on to complete the rest of the level by grabbing the Unnecessary Violent achievement and the P rank, and off I went to the next level called Waste Jar. A level that I want to say is on the lighter side of things in regards to getting the achievement. Thank flippin' goodness. First one being Ghosted, where we have to avoid getting touched by Mr. Big Head over here. Second is Pretend Ghost, in which we have to kill a total of 20 ghosts by turning into a ghost ourselves. Looks more like a sentient ball of butter than a ghost, but I digress. And last but not least is Alive and Well, which involves doing what I believe should become an Olympic sport with its highly methodical and questionably unethical way to glide in glorious style. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you corpse surfing. Yeah, I need help. Anyway, since this level was on the easier side, I made sure to not let up this opportunity by capitalizing on it accordingly. Wait. Before we move on, we actually need to get this guy right here. Trust me, you guys will know what I'm talking about when I get to the second lap. Okay, for this level, we're gonna also try to get all the achievements and the P rank. It is a bit risky considering that we have to escape the big purple head guy 2 whole times, but the margin of error is really slim, so we're not gonna worry about that. Unless I make a really bad mistake, which in our current case, we cannot let that happen. Lest we want to actually reset the whole thing. No, we can't let that happen. Alright, here we go. It's pizza time, which means it's time to run away from Barney's buff cousin. No, no, no. He's gonna catch up to me. I'm just kidding. He's not even close. A bit slower when we're a ghost, but once we get this booster, we're gonna leave him in the dust. Almost had a heart attack there. Kill these 2 chickens here to get our first achievement. And after we're done with this place, I believe we get another achievement. Yep, there we go. Okay, now we just gotta finish the second lap and we'll be good to go. And obviously not get caught by Grimace over there. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to tell you guys why I got the little mushroom in the first lap. It's really so I don't make a dumb mistake where if I don't get the little mushroom there, then at times when I got caught by the John Ghost. So yeah, since we got the little guy, we can just do this and everything's gonna be A-okay. Why is my rank still an 8? I could have sworn I got it everything. What did we go? Oh, no, never mind. False alarm. Ha, ha, ha. Victory. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Not bad. Just gotta keep that up for the next level, and we're gonna shave off so much time. Is what my overly optimistic self thought at the time, but life had other plans in Fun Farm. A level where I could potentially replicate the same success from the waste chart if I didn't mess up getting the first achievement called Cube Menace. An achievement where we need to find this cube here and destroy it. Which on paper sounds like a simple task, but unfortunately the room to the cube is hidden down here, where we can only access by equipping Mort the chicken. And equipping him essentially gives us 2 new perks, which is the ability to double jump and use him as a grappling boomerang. 2 new abilities that may seem advantageous in the hands of a professional, but in my hands it was a recipe for disaster. Alright, if we want to save time, we gotta get this first achievement on our first try. If not, then it's all gonna be your fault, Mort. Right, after we grab this guy, we're just gonna go right into it, okay? 1, 2, 3. No, 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 no. I can save this. I can save this. I just gotta get this table. Yep. No, never mind. I can't save this. Oh, shoot. Okay, now that happened, we literally have nothing to lose anymore. So let's get it right this time. And okay, at this point, I think it's just the chicken's fault. Okay, come on. Like, how am I even missing this? This is like seriously. I still blame the chicken. Aside from that menacing achievement, the other ones weren't as labor heavy, as we just needed to kill unreachable enemies by taunting these guys right here to obtain the no one is safe achievement and complete the level while not letting our chicken friend here receive even the tiniest of boo-boos. Oh, you little lucky chicken, little rip-off looking cockadoodle-doo. Now, so far we had a relatively easy time going through each level without having to worry too much about getting the P rank. But that was because the mobs and traps in the previous level weren't as threatening compared to the ones in Fun Farm. And if you haven't noticed yet, when we take damage from either a mob or certain traps, it results in taking out a huge chunk of our combo meter. Unlike the previous levels like Pizzascape, the Fun Farm level has a total of 4 different things that could reduce our meter, which are electric potatoes, potato farmers, eggplant mobiles, and electrical cube. While levels like Pizzascape only really have the fork knives that can hurt us. Not to mention, we literally become an invincible knight. Which is why this time getting the achievements wasn't my biggest issue, but getting the P rank. Where the mobs and the traps accounted for a few level resets that had me take a total of 11 minutes to beat the level. A time loss of over 6 minutes that could have been prevented if I hadn't made all those mistakes. And it wasn't about to get any better, as the curse of the imperfect gameplays were about to escalate even more in Fast Food Saloon. A level that I was determined to beat on my first try with all the achievements in the P rank to hopefully save me a good amount of time. And the achievements weren't that difficult as well, since all I had to do was break nearly every beer bottle for the non-alcoholic, activate these red buttons just once for the already pressed, and touch every one of these cars for the royal flush. The only real daunting one of the 3 is the already pressed achievement, since I had times where I accidentally pressed the button twice a few times in my previous runs. But even with making those mistakes, it usually took me no more than 7 minutes to beat the whole level. Until now. So our time right now is less than ideal. But let's look on the bright side. This level here isn't as difficult as the ones we've done so far. I have been beating this level consistently in the 7-minute range. So hopefully if we get this one on our first try, we will be able to shave off a lot of time. The only one we need to really watch out for is not pressing the button twice, which usually happens here, but I noticed that once you fully commit to bumping into the wall, then it doesn't trigger it twice. So yeah, I think we're pretty good on getting the P rank and all the achievements on this one. Might have gotten off the sausage a bit too early there. I mean, if you think about it, like, mistakes like that are unavoidable sometimes when you're playing a game for so long. I do want to throw out there that I've been playing this game for a lot more than an hour and 12 minutes right now. I started from like, I don't know, 9 a.m.-ish, and I've been playing until now, which is like around 8 p.m. So yeah, I've been playing for 11 hours, but it's so good. It's not like my eyes are getting all blurry and my head is spinning and my fingers are getting all cramped and stuff. I don't believe in gamers fatigue. I pressed the button twice, didn't I? It's fine, it's fine. I just need to just, you know, just lock in, get it together. Come on. I'm not tired. I'm not. Who's tired? I'm not tired. Oh no, oh no. I wasn't supposed to kill those guys. How am I supposed to continue my combo when I get out? Oh shoot, this is all cooked. This is all so cooked. Alright, we are not gonna prematurely get off the sausage again, but miss it completely. Ah! At least we got damaged 0 times. Is what I said to try and keep my sanity in check, but the fact of the matter was I was not okay. Not only was this run looking more and more grim by the second, but this was by far the rockiest second floor attempt until now. However, I wasn't about to throw in the towel just yet, as my time was still sitting around an hour and 30 minutes, leaving me with 2 hours and 30 minutes to beat this whole challenge. And according to my notes, it usually takes roughly 35 minutes to clear one single floor. So since there are 3 more floors after this one, technically we could still beat this entire challenge with a whole hour to spare. That is if we don't make any more major screw-ups and beat every single one of the bosses on our first try. And something that I wasn't quite ready to wrap my head around, so instead I just went on to fight the next boss, the Vigilante. A boss that could potentially end my run right here and now with its cheese bullets, dynamites, bullet sprays, rockets, flamethrowers, dive kicks, bouncing cows. Oh no, oh no, this is so hard. Whatever shall I do? I mean, who could have ever thought that pressing a button could be this hard? Like seriously, I don't know if I have it in me. Maybe I'm the villain. Or just really good at cheesing the heck out of that mozzarella slime. Either way, I was just content with how easy the fight went against the goopy cheese marshal, as it was probably all luck and definitely not something I knew how to do from the 36 times I fought the guy constantly. Yep, definitely not that. But anyways, with the second floor fully cleared, I made my way to the third floor where the first level on my list to complete was Crust Cove. A level where I needed to parry a bomb at this goobler for the blowback achievement, find all the treasures that were marked with an X on the ground to put them out of their misery for the X achievement, and lastly beat the level without getting blown up to smithereens for the Demolition Expert achievement, which used to be an achievement that I feared out of my mind because there's this one section in the level where we need to run through a literal bomb apocalypse. But thankfully, I somehow managed to execute a flawless first attempt at this level where I ended up not making a single mistake. I know, how unusual, right? And with this boost of confidence, I was sure that it was going to carry over to the next level. Except that level was Gnome Forest, which if you haven't watched my first video, I struggled with this one. Mostly due to the fact that we have to destroy every one of these wooden blocks to get the lumberjack achievement, and boy did this one stress me out. Oh my gosh, I am not looking forward to this one. That's what I'm gonna look like by the end of this. The first 2 achievements is pretty easy to get on this one, but I need to get all these stupid wood, man. Alright, first achievement is taunting in front of B, so we're gonna do that, and yep, there you go. Doesn't get any easier than that. And this time we're gonna taunt in front of a noise goblin to aggro him, and we get our second achievement. And now comes the fun part of destroying every single wooden block in this level. Oh man, I'm gonna have to keep my eyes glued to the screen. Well, at least we don't have to switch between characters anymore, which was an absolute pain in the butt. Also, this is one of the levels that I'm gonna be showing you guys a really cool maneuver I picked up while playing the game, which is doing this. Unlimited airborne, baby. Now, I'm not gonna use that all the time, but that is what we need to do for some of the rooms for future levels. And also for this secret room, which I want to say is pretty broken if you ask me. All that to say, I won't be using it all the time because obviously running is faster than doing that unlimited spin to win. Something that's pretty cool and exclusive to the noise update. So I don't think I can go back to playing Peppino ever again. Oh, and one other thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with those guys now. Pizzers is what they are called. Quite positively my least favorite mobs in the game. It's like they have a mind of their own or something, as you guys saw back there. All I'm saying is that they are extremely unpredictable. And an absolute combo killer. Oh my goodness. I don't know how, but we somehow made it to the second lap. Let's just hope we got all the wooden blocks, man, because honestly, I genuinely lost count. Here we go. Moment of truth. Oh my goodness, thank God. And finally, we just have to go into the secret room and grab ourselves the P rank. And I love how we can just keep the whole thing with the rocket boost. And there we go. Gnome Forest complete. Now, as happy as I was in completing this level, it still took me close to 15 minutes to beat it, which meant that I was in dire need of stepping up my game if I was gonna have any chance at actually beating this challenge. Lucky for me, the next level was Deep Dish 9, and the only thing we needed to do for this level was avoid hitting the ceiling in this room right after taking down the jump pillar for the Turbo Tunnel achievement, destroy a few asteroids for the Blast Them Asteroids achievement, and lastly, WWE body slam the heck out of a column of these UFO olives that I failed to accomplish the first time, so I played the level again. But it didn't put too big a dent to the overall time since I still managed to complete it in under 10 minutes, which leaves us with the last level of the third floor called Golf. And thank heavens for this level because it essentially allows us to have a safety net for our combos, as getting in this golfing position helps to retain our combo meter. However, as dandy as that sounds, it couldn't save me from my own idiocy. So for this first achievement, I've got a little something up my sleeve, which involves grabbing this guy and putting him right here. Grab another one and place him with his friends. And hey, stop it, stop doing that. There we go. Then we're just gonna rocket boost up and around them and get this golf ball to hit them all at the same time to grab that first achievement, baby. The second one is gonna be a bit more complicated. It's gonna involve using the burger guy here, place him down, and basically what we're trying to do here is we want to get this guy to put the golf ball in the goal, which as you can see is not so easy to do. Come on, let this be the one. Yes, first try. Actually, it was like 22 attempts, but same thing. And as for the last achievement, we just gotta get a Primo burger for the rest of the golf courses. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. And this should be the last one. Okay, now we're just gonna put it in the goal. Oh, give me a break. And that should do it. And that should do. And that should do it. Oh, come on. Finally. Alright, now that we have all the achievements, we just gotta do a second lap and we'll get the P rank and be done with this lap. No! Yeah, so apparently I got too excited in the moment that I accidentally pressed the upward arrow key right as I passed the exit portal. A sad little mistake that chipped away close to 9 whole minutes of my precious time, leaving us with 1 hour and 45 minutes to beat the remaining 4th and 5th floor. And you might be asking what the problem is, since it takes 35 minutes to beat one floor, which would then theoretically leave us with 35 minutes of time to spare, right? Well, if you listen closely, you might have caught me saying that it roughly takes 35 minutes to beat one of the floors. And so far, it's taken us 33 minutes to beat the first floor, 1 hour and 6 minutes for the second floor, and 35 minutes for the third floor. And that is excluding the crazy hard boss that we were about to face off against, called the Doys, who on my first attempt took a whole 20 minutes to beat, and sometimes even longer in some of my other runs due to his extremely erratic fighting style that requires all of my focus to stay on top of things. Which meant that in order for me to have a shot at completing this challenge, I was gonna need to beat him in 3 attempts or less to leave me some room for errors down the road and have a chance at going against fake Peppino and the Pizza Head. And so I entered the fight, swelling with determination. This is it, it's do or die. I'd say the key to beating this boss is basically playing my absolute best. Just gotta parry every single attack he throws at us and punish him with a bomb in his face whenever he flicks us off. Okay, so far we are doing absolutely amazing, but honestly, it is the first phase, so just wait till we get to the second phase. I'm probably gonna poop my pants. And we are officially in the second phase. Time to poop my pants. Alright, focus up, focus up. We cannot get hit by any of these rocks. We just gotta focus up. Oh my goodness, I hate this Pogo attack so much. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I'm safe, I'm safe. We're chilling out here. Man, this feels like forever. My goodness, we're not even halfway there. Just imagine beating this guy in my first try. What are the chances of that happening, huh? Then again, we are playing out of our freaking mind right now. And as I say that, we are already halfway there. Guys, if we get this on our first try, it will be an absolute game changer for this run. Okay, I'm getting too excited. Stay focused. Okay, this bouncing attack got me every time, but not this time, pal. Blow him up, and we are so close to beating him in our first try. Bro, I'm freaking out. Is this actually gonna happen? Okay, we just gotta survive this last attack. We got this. We got this. All right, now we're just gonna wait for him to do his fake and. Oh my gosh, I did it! Oh my. Well, I'll see you later, buddy. My heart is racing right now. We have ourselves a run, baby! A monumental feat indeed that had completely turned the tide in my favor, given the fact that we had made copious amounts of mistakes time after time. But with this miracle of an accomplishment, it had given me the final nudge of confidence I needed to carry over this momentum to the remaining 2 floors ahead. And so with an hour and 20 minutes left, I buckled up for what may very well be the final attempt to beat this challenge. Now this is it, no turning back. I don't know why, but I'm having this surge of confidence that's like running through my veins right now. To beat the noise on our first try is an absolute miracle, so we are going to make the most out of it. Alright, the first achievement we're gonna get is the pan-fried achievement, which is gonna involve finding a room full of bacon. And while doing that, we need to take a photo with these tourist piggies right here by taunting in front of them. Quite a few of them are in the level, so we cannot miss a single one, which means I'm gonna actually need to open my Asian eyes for this. Alright, we just got a rocket boost here, and there we go. We found the bacon room, and I'm absolutely terrified of the secret room. One single fall from this secret room is basically GG, man. We gotta restart the entire level. Yeah! Alright, here we go. We got this time. No! No! Come on, I don't want to make this harder than it already is. Ah, finally. I'm in front of this guy, and we get the achievement for the oinky picture taking achievement, whatever. And for the final one, we just gotta push brick here and kill 3 mobs to get the achievement, baby. There we go, 1 down, and we got 9 more levels to go, including the bosses, of course. God forbid, I pray that we don't make the same mistake in this one as well. Says me, who's about to play one of the hardest levels in this game. Anyways, first achievement we need to get is whoop this, in which we're just gonna go inside the secret room, super ton all the mobs, and not be an idiot and dodge all the fists this time so that we can actually get the achievement. Second one we need to get is there can only be one. This one's not too bad. We just gotta kill all the peppy bots in the factory, and that's pretty much it. And for this last one, we're gonna smash ourselves into a miniature version of ourselves and bump into all the priests in the level. These guys should be the last ones for the second achievement, and there we go. That's all 3 achievements. Now time to get the P rank, baby. Okay, we got the S rank, but we have to go through a secret passage in order to get the P rank, which is going through here, rocket boosting up here, another one here to get into the secret room, and that is gonna get us our P. Bit of a rough start, but thankfully we got that on our first try, and hopefully this one as well. Oh, okay, that is not good. Yep, that's gonna lose our combo. Not our strongest start, but we've been through worse. Okay, this time we're gonna parry these guys, and we're gonna do that 9 more times so we can get the Food Clan achievement. That is 2, 3. Gotta remember not to let these guys catch me in the escape sequence for the penny pincher. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, once we take this guy out, we have 1 more left, and never mind, I can't count. And as for the last achievement, we just have to ignore those fake cardboard pizzas that we just passed a while ago. Then we just gotta get the P rank, and boom, first try, baby. No, I misclicked. Oh my god, my combo. That is gonna cost us. That is gonna cost us immensely. Oh man, I really wish I had an hour when I got to the 5th floor, but here we are. Okay, at least I'm confident that it's basically impossible to mess this level up because we have the ability to fly, virtually making it impossible to mess up the Ice Climber achievement, in which we have to beat the level without falling into a pit. How convenient. It also helps to, free these Tweety birds from their cryo chambers, which you guessed it is an achievement we have to get. And for the last one, we have to super taunt these Santa Clauses whenever we encounter them by super taunting them to oblivion. And boom, we got the Tweety bird achievement. Super taunt this guy, and there we go. No more Santa Claus. Take that, Google. And I believe we didn't fall a single time in the pit, so that should give us the Ice Climber achievement. Nice. And now we just gotta beat fake Peppino, and that should take around 2 or 3 minutes or so, and that will put us in a very good spot to beat this challenge, assuming we're gonna beat him in our first try, that is. But with all things considered, I think this guy is actually not that hard, especially compared to the Dois, so I think we got this. I mean, his first phase attacks are super easy to dodge. Like, you just gotta jump over these like lunges he's doing. This one may look crazy, but you just gotta walk side to side, stay in the middle, and walk to the open spot to avoid the attack. Overall, I think I've made my point here. Except now we have to deal with 2 of them, so I'm gonna be sweating out of my mind now. And it would seem that that includes not blinking a single time since the second phase started. Speaking of not blinking, look at that. In a blink of an eye, we're halfway there already. Alright, after this final attack, I think we have this in the bag. We just gotta... Oh my gosh, that was close. And there we go. Now we just gotta run like our life depends on it. Just kidding. I knew this was gonna happen because I am absolutely terrified. Oh yeah, now we just gotta clear the 5th floor, and I'll finally be able to go out and touch some grass. Okay, so for this level, we gotta kill at least 30 ghosts. And to do that, we gotta get across from these exorcists first, and then we can just bulldoze every ghost that comes our way. There are also these traps that are scattered all around the level, but honestly, they don't really pose that much of a threat to me. How in the world? Yeah, I'm just gonna restart. Okay, so this is the same spot we got caught before, so we're just gonna slide down this time. I'll kill that last one really got close to getting me. And as for the last achievement, we have to destroy all these skulls, which is basically similar to that of the gnome forest level where we had to destroy all the wood. And you guys know how nervous I was for that achievement, so we're gonna go full on Hunchback at the Notre Dame mode, baby! And we're just gonna have this guy kick us, and we need to make sure we get all 8 skulls, and nope, we missed 3, which we will have to get on our second lap. But for now, let's be happy with this first achievement. And we are now on our second lap, which means we gotta make sure we get those 3 skulls that we missed a while ago. So there we go. Nice. Didn't even break a sweat. Alright, we just got 1 achievement left before we beat this level. Just gotta wait for this one to drop. And nice. We just gotta bypass this one. And that should be the last one of the traps. Nice, nice, nice. We got it. Oh my goodness. We have a little over 30 minutes, which means if we keep this up and not make a single mistake, we might actually be able to beat this challenge. Except I couldn't. For this level, we can't sound these alarms more than 5 times, and since there are like 5 required ones, like this one right here, we have to focus on getting the rest of the achievements and the P rank on our second attempt. Gotta make sure we destroy every single one of the alarms, like it's mandatory. Okay, we're just gonna super taunt this guy so that we... What? Why did that sound the alarm? I'm so confused. What? This whole time, I've used the super taunt to destroy that unreachable alarm. For some reason, it didn't work this time. Alright, we're gonna try it again, but this time I'm hoping that I don't sound it. Oh my gosh, I missed that one a while ago and it sounded the alarm. We're still okay in terms of time, but honestly, we gotta stop making those rookie mistakes. Alright, we're gonna try this one last time and... What? Oh my gosh, man. I'm choking so hard right now. It's not even funny anymore. Oh my goodness, finally. Why did it? I don't know why it worked that time, but you know what? I'm just happy it worked. Okay, and with this, we got our first achievement. Nice. Now we gotta kill all the animatronics in the escape sequence to get the second achievement, and also not get caught by them to get jump scared. And we also gotta get the P-Reg, which is, you know, it's a lot. Alright, let's grab this Gatling gun and get spraying. And one last one to finish up the second achievement. Alright, let's get this level over with. Alright, we gotta make sure to pre-fire here so we don't get caught by the puppet. What just happened? I pre-fired! What? Oh my... Dude, After 20 minutes, I eventually beat the level and went on to the next level called War, where the achievements required that I don't get hurt more than 3 times, not miss more than 3 of my shots while using the Gatling gun, and complete the level with a minute left on the timer. Despite knowing that continuing was futile, I played out the rest of the game where I went on to defeat the Pizza Head and completed the crumbling Tower of Pisa in record time, missing the 4-hour mark by just 10 minutes. The fact that I was this close to beating this challenge where not choking on that one level at the end was what made the difference was just too much for me to swallow, which made me start to wonder that maybe I just wasn't cut out for this anymore. But I was pretty close, wasn't I? Now, despite going through failure after failure, I was certain of one thing and one thing only, and that was if I never decided to quit, success was most definitely guaranteed eventually. And although I was extremely gassed from playing the game for over 15 hours already and had a total of 37 attempts under my belt, I still had one last attempt in me to hopefully put an end to this gut-wrenching challenge. And so with the last bit of willpower left in me, I booted up a run for one last time that resulted in becoming my greatest run yet. And with that, we have officially 101%ed Pizza Tower as a noise. For those of you who stuck around till the end, thank you so much for doing so. And if you enjoyed the video, it would mean the world to me if you like and subscribe, as it really helps me out a lot with the algorithm and everything. Now, to answer the million-dollar question as to why I haven't posted for so long. Well, you see, I recently graduated from uni and got my bachelor's in business administration, and personally, I was struggling to juggle between studying and doing YouTube at the same time. As you guys might have picked up by now from all the Asian jokes in the video, I'm a Korean. But I went abroad at a fairly young age and studied at an international school. Then once I graduated, I went back to my home country to enroll in a Korean university since I was eligible for a full ride scholarship. However, since my Korean proficiency level was similar to that of a 9-year-old elementary dropout, I had to study extra hard. But now that I'm done with school, I plan on going full-time on YouTube again, mostly because I really love being a YouTuber so much. Yeah, I just don't want to be cooped up in a boring office job. And as for my degree, it's really more of a plan B, where if for some unfathomable reason YouTube somehow disappears off the face of the earth, I'll at least have something to fall back on. So yeah, expect a lot more frequent uploads, and hopefully we can reach that 100k by the end of the year. For real though this time. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!